Good morning, dear friends. How often we hear, do as you feel like doing. It is a kind of offering you total freedom. Do whatever you like, whatever you feel like. Is that right? That we can do whatever we feel right in our heart and go ahead with that. Um, the long tradition of our church teaches us that may not be always right. You cannot simply do something according to your own whims and fancies. The great saint Sir Thomas More, why did he give his life? What was the reason he was executed by the King of England, Henry VIII? He refused to sign this act of supremacy that he wanted to enact. And he said, in my conscience, I don't believe it is right and true. Though he was executed to death, he told his family, I don't believe this is right. This is not good for the country or for the people of England. And his message was loud and clear. Everybody got it. They understood the king is doing the wrong decision. What gave him that courage, even to give up his life in order to act according to the directive of his conscience? Conscience is the innermost sacred place where you abide with God. That's what church teaches us. It is the innermost sanctuary where you are abiding with God. Whatever that little voice tells you to do or not to do, when you listen to it, you are happy. You are a happy person. You are literally listening to the voice of God when you listen to your conscience. It is given to us all when we were born. That is almost like our own spiritual soul. Conscience need to be formed consistently. You cannot say, my conscience is good. It is good enough to deal with my rest of my life. No. You have to be constantly seeking the truth that you need to live in your daily life. You need to constantly understand what are the demands of conscience in your life, the cultural changes, the demands of our community and society, and how moral values are understood or reinterpreted. But in all these things, your conscience need to update itself and learn new things and be updated in every truth that is offered to it, so that you don't make mistakes. You cannot afford to have a wrongly formed conscience. The more you are faithful to your conscience, the more you are a person of peace, a person of joy, a person who is walking every day in the path of righteousness. That is exactly what it means to listen to our own consciences. It is not always easy. Sometimes it could be challenging, though it is not as challenging as it was to St. Thomas More. But you have to sometimes stand up for truth. You have to sometimes stand up for the right value. You have to sometimes speak out courageously what you feel right in your conscience. Then you become the prophetic voice of God in your own life and in the lives of others. If you are not listening to your conscience or faithful to your conscience, what happens? You are betraying yourself. You are betraying others. You are betraying God. That serious it is to not to or not to listen to your own conscience. So think about what kind of conscience I have. How faithful am I to it in all the decisions, whether they are simple or complex? That determines who you are in Christ Jesus.